hit the bell icon as well. So ये हमारा क्विक रिवीजन। ये क्विक रिवीजन में हम सबसे पहले क्या करेंगे, जितने भी हमने Azure सीरीज में जितने भी वीडियो जितने भी टास्क परफॉर्म किए हैं, हम सब में एक क्विक रिवीजन करेंगे कि व्हाट वी हैव डन एंड व्हाट वी हैव एक्सप्लेन्ड। तो सबसे पहले बात करते हैं हम वीडियो वन की। वीडियो वन में सबसे पहले हमने क्या किया था, हमने वीएम क्रिएट किया था। वी क्रिएटेड अ वीएम क्रिएट वी क्रिएटेड अ वीएम एंड लॉग इन इनटू दैट। हमने वीएम क्रिएट किया था और लॉग इन किया था। सबसे पहले तो वीएम स्टैंड्स फॉर क्या होता है, वीएम स्टैंड्स फॉर होता है वर्चुअल मशीन। वर्चुअल मशीन एक क्या होता है, एक सपोज सबने कंप्यूटर यूज किया होगा, लैपटॉप यूज किया होगा। वर्चुअल मशीन एक मशीन होती है जो कि फिजिकली प्रेजेंट नहीं होती, फिजिकली नॉट प्रेजेंट। दैट इज कॉल्ड, दैट इज वीएम। ओके, अब आगे बढ़ते हैं। दैट इज वीएम जो फिजिकली नॉन प्रेजेंट है, फिजिकली प्रेजेंट तो नहीं है। ओके, फिजिकली नॉट प्रेजेंट, बट वीएम कंटेन्स क्या क्या वीएम के पास होता है। वीएम के पास ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम होता है, ओएस स्टैंड्स फॉर ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम। और क्या होता है वीएम के पास, हमारा जो होता है जो सीपीयू है, एवरीथिंग, जितने भी आपकी इंफ्रा की इंफॉर्मेशन है और जितना भी इंफ्रा है वो सारा का सारा वीएम के पास होता है। बस वो फिजिकली प्रेजेंट नहीं होता, यू कैन नॉट टच इट बट यू कैन यूज इट। ओके, सो हमने ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम कौन सा उस वीडियो में अपलोड किया था, दैट इज ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम दैट इज विंडोज सर्वर 2022 वर्जन किया था हमने, विंडोज का 2022 वर्जन, दैट इज द लेटेस्ट वर्जन। एंड उसके बाद हमने कौन सा सीपीयू के, टू सीपीयूज डाले थे हमने, टू सीपीयूज एंड 8 GB मेमोरी, जिसे गिब भी कहते हैं, गीगाबाइट। एंड फिर हमने क्या उसे एक्सेस किया था आरडीपी प्रोटोकॉल के थ्रू। आरडीपी स्टैंड्स फॉर रिमोट डेस्कटॉप प्रोटोकॉल, डेस्कटॉप, सॉरी फॉर दैट, लेट्स erase this। RDP stands for Remote Desktop Protocol। डेस्कटॉप प्रोटोकॉल, आरडीबी के थ्रू हमने हमारी वीएम को एक्सेस किया था। तो आरडीबी में एक्सेस करने के लिए सबसे पहले तो क्या करते हैं, वीएम हम जब क्रिएट करते हैं तो वी नीड, तो फर्स्टली हम क्या डिफाइन करते हैं, हम एक रिसोर्स ग्रुप डिफाइन करते हैं। वी डिफाइन अ रिसोर्स ग्रुप, ये अज्योर में ही होता है, इन अज्योर। ओके, रिसोर्स ग्रुप क्या होता है, रिसोर्स ग्रुप मैंने उस वीडियो में भी बताया था। रिसोर्स ग्रुप एक कंटेनर होता है। सपोज रिसोर्स ग्रुप हमारा होता है, एक कंटेनर होता है। वो कंटेनर क्या करता है, रिसोर्स ग्रुप एक कंटेनर होता है जो कि हमारी जितने भी वैल्यूज हैं और जितने भी हमने क्रिएशन किया है, जितने भी हमारे, सपोज दिस इज अ कंटेनर, दिस इज अ कंटेनर विच नेम इज टीएस, दिव्यांश श्रीवास्तव। अब इसमें मेरा वीएम का भी इन्फो है, मेरे वीएम का भी इन्फो है। वीएम, वीएम स्टैंड्स फॉर वर्चुअल मशीन एंड वीएन स्टैंड्स फॉर वर्चुअल नेटवर्क। ओके, वर्चुअल network, this is I write as network, and this is, if I write somewhere is like this, that is software. Okay, don't confuse in that, these are shorter forms, and VM stands for virtual machine, right? So all the information are stored in that container line by line. Suppose we have stored something else, or we have created a firewall. Okay, we have created a DNS inside a VM. Inside a VN also we can create a DNS server. There is an option in the when we are able to create a virtual network, we do that. And without a virtual network, we cannot communicate or we cannot create a VM. We can create a VM, but not in Azure. If you doesn't create your own virtual network, it will create by default. Okay, so during the VM, what all the information you will be provide? First, you will be provide the VM name, VM Azure region. You have to define in which region you want to make the VM. After that, you have to give the password. Give the first the VM name, then is the first is the VM name. Okay, Azure region, your username of that VM, both are different. Okay, username, your password, and last your inbound ports means to which port you are able to access that VM. Okay, where multiple ports and multiple protocols are there. We have SSH secure shell, we have HTTP, we have HTTPS, and we have RDP. Okay, through all these protocols you are able to access your VM. Okay, and in that video, this is a revision. In that video, already showed how to access that VM with the use of RDP protocol. So you can jump into that video and you can pause here. You can jump into that video and you can still see how we access that VM. Okay, so that is all from video one. What we have discussed, how to create a VM and how to log into that VM. Let's move forward. You can take the screenshot as well. Let's move forward to which one? To the next video. The next video is which we have created in this series is that series. The next video name is Azure VM we attach disk in that same existing VM video 2 concept. In second video concept, what we have performed, we have add disk, create user accounts. What else we have done? We have add this, we have create user account and we have add the tag to our VM. Okay, so we add this to add a disk, just we enter to VM in Azure VM overview. We enter there. In enter there, we enter the network settings. In there, you can find the disk, the OS disk. Inside disk, you can create your own disk and you can add your disk. Okay, we attached around 100 gigabyte disk to our machine. And same as we have with tagging also. So this is all. We already attach our by default we get two disks, and for this step, by performing this step, we are able to attach another disk which is around, that is a virtual disk which is around 100 gigabytes, 100 GB it can contain to our, and to and for if we are talking about the user account, so we can also create a user account very easily in a quicker manner. We can create a user account. Just go to the start button. We have a search bar in start right here. You can create your own users. Just go to your start button and create user, or only write user. Suppose I can show you just like this. You write user here only. US ER C. Change user control, create and format disk partitions. Okay, if you are entering here, you can create a disk and with the same with these same things and with this. Okay, when you are able to when you want to attach the disk, you are able to log into here. Only then you can attach a disk. All these are disks which are used by my machines currently. Okay, if I want to add another user, I want to go to the settings, or you can write add user. See, if you write this add user, add, edit, or remove other users, you just enter it to there, and from that setting you can add your users, you can remove the users. Okay, so practically I already showed in that video, so that is a task. Okay, we have created multiple users, and by default we have one user, okay, who have the admin rights. We have one user with admin rights, and we created another user and provide the admin rights to that. Okay, so that is the create user and login with that user, same with same password. In that video I showed. So in terms of tag, if we talked about tagging means we attach a tag. Everybody buy clothes. Okay, there is a tag. Okay, there is a brand tag in the clothes. So same as with the VM, I have attached one tag that VM owner. I created tag like this VM owner, and in the value section I have write my name Divyansh Srivastava. Yeah, only Divyansh. Okay. So there is also when you go to the overview of a virtual machine, you can see that tag option. In the tag option, you can give the value, you can give these details. Okay, what is a tag name and what is the value and what is the value of that particular tag. So all this we perform this minor task in the video too. If you guys have any confusion related to my videos or any concept, you can ping me in the comment box. Okay, so let's move forward, guys. We talked about video 3. In terms of video 3, what we have learned in video 3, guys? In video 3, we have learned Azure VN setup. As I've said before, VN stands for virtual network. Virtual network. What do you mean by virtual network? The network which is created virtually, that is correct. What do you mean by a virtual network? And we communicated VM with that network. Okay, we have communicated VMs with use of VN. Okay, so the task which we have performed in that video is we have two VMs. Okay, one is Windows 10 Pro OS, the another one is Windows Server Manager OS. Okay, we want to communicate from this machine to this machine with the use of ping command. We use ping command on CMD. So that is a task we have done. Both have the IP address. Both have the IP address. So I want to communicate from my server to client and client to server. The Windows Server Manager means this is a server and this is a client. I want to shoot ping command from this to this machine, and then again from this to this machine, and both I want to be get successful. How? How I explained in that. Okay. So suppose, did you guys understand the task? What is the task I have given? The task I have given is that. So how these machines communicate to each other? First of all, we log into the Azure account. We created VN. First of all, it should be in same region as VMs are. As VMs are. Okay. If VM is in US, in US, VN should also be in US. Only then, only then you are able to attach this VN to this VM. Okay. Only then you are able to attach your virtual network to your virtual machine. Otherwise, it will take another virtual network by default, and your client or server will not able to communicate to the machine. Okay. So that's first of all you have to create it, and during the creation of VN, you have to give the IP address range. IP address range you have to given your 10.0.0.0 to 10.0.0.2, where you want to give an 10.0.0.255 or 255.255.255, something something. Okay, example like this. You have to given that. Okay, in Azure. With the help of this range, our VM get the IP address. Okay, with the help of this range, just like a DHCP. What a DHCP have? DHCP have a bunch of IP addresses, and the VM get a IP address from that particular range. Okay, just like that. And after that, now our VMs have the IP address. Our VM are able to log into each other. We can log into our VM with the use of ORDP. So first of all, that is a VM. That is another VM. Okay, this is server. This is client. Okay, my this IP address is 10.0.0.2, and this IP address 10.0.0.0.3. Okay, then I shoot a ping command here on server. I open CMD of a server. I open CMD command prompt of a server and write ping 10.0.0.3. If I get a success rate, that is okay. Means my server is able to go to the client. Then I shoot one command, same command from my client to server. Same command, but what is the IP address of a server? IP address of a server is 10.0.0.2. So same, I have opened the CMD of my client machine and I shoot this. I got success. That is a concept. Okay, so that is a concept. And if during the troubleshooting and during the when we are trying to communicate with this VM, we are uh, taking and try to execute the pin command. There is one small error came. That means we get a error that is timeout. We're getting timeout, timeout, timeout. So how we troubleshoot that? You can look into that video. That how we troubleshoot that, what settings we have changed, and how we make these two VMs communicate to each other. Okay. So that is all for the revision of video 3. Okay. Now we proceed towards our video number 4. In video number 4, what we have done, video 4. In video 4, what we have done. In video 4, we executed ADDS, Active Directory Domain Services. Active Directory Domain Services, ADDS. And we deploy a domain controller also. Controller in our same these two VMs on our server. We have a server manager, right? So we can add roles and responsibilities there, and we can deploy Active Directory domain services there with full setup. During around 20 or 25 minutes video, we explained everything, how we communicated to our machine, how we attach the domain controller to that, and then again how we communicated and add users to that machine. So my domain name is divyansh.com, and I log into my client machine. Uh, I log into my client machine, suppose my PC, and attach this domain to that PC. Attach that, and so whatever I perform in the Active Directory, I have created the users in the Active Directory. In Active Directory there is a Active Directory users and computers tab inside the tools section. You go to tools and just log into Active Directory users and computers. You can create users there. Create user, and with that user I am able to log into that client machine. How? I show you. I've showed you this in the video. So that video contains how to log into that particular machine, how to make that communicate to the server. Okay. Suppose in ADUC we have lots of users, so we created one user is that default user we already have. So we created user Ravi. So with that, just go to our RDP file. We have RDP file to run. Go to the RDP file, select more choices. In more choices, you have to give the information about, suppose your username means Ravi at the rate your domain.com, divyansh.com, and your password. Only then you are able to log into the machine, to the same client machine with that Ravi user. I'm writing CM. CM is not chief administrator, it is client machine. Okay. So that performance, that all the tasks we have performed in that video, that how we created Active Directory users and computers, how we attach the domain controller, how we deploy the domain controller. Okay, how to attach it, the each and every step in terms of technical, in terms of where we already explained that, and that is a revision which we have done. Okay, so that's all for a video 4, guys. In the video number 4, we have already discussed. Sorry, video number 5, we implemented GPO in the same, after with the same two VMs. You can attach multiple client machines to the domain controller here. Multiple client machines. It can handle multiple clients. That's why it is a server, right? So group policy is group policy objects, okay, which we have created. What are the group policy objects here? Group policy objects are, suppose I want to, let's move towards the fresh page to explain. What is a group policy? Group policy means suppose I have one OU. OU stands for organizational unit. In that organizational unit, it acts like a box. Suppose there is a HR department. Think our OU is that. In HR department, we have people, we have users. Okay, users of HR department. But I want to create one restriction that they are not able to access to CMD. I don't want them to know the IP address of their machine which they are using. So I want to create a restriction. I want to create one restriction. So how will I do that? With the use of GPO. I will do that. GPO stands for Group Policy Objects. So with the use of Group Policy Objects, I can make that restriction and apply to that particular OU, to that particular container. So in that particular development, number of users, all of them are not able to open that CMD. Okay, so that is a concept there. We are able to create restrictions, apply restrictions with the group policy, use of group policy. That's why it named as group policies. We are creating restriction policies and attached to particular group. And what is a group name is? That is a OU, organizational unit. That is that's why we call it a group policy. And we have created group policy objects and attached to that particular group. That is known as a group pol. That's why we will pronounce this concept as group policy objects. If you want to see the full implementation, you can see the episode 5, EP5. Watch that. Okay. We have created one OU and attach GPU to that. And in that group policy, when you are creating that group policy and attached to that domain, you have to first, uh, after successfully attached, you can also try that. Just log in. We have login to client and we check also in that particular video. We try to open CMD, but we get an error. We already get an error that client that it is not authorized. Contact your administrator. You get an error like this. Okay, so that is a concept to save your machine to because we cannot give all the rights to every department, right? Otherwise, they can steal the data. For the security purpose, this is developed or this is created. With the use of server manager, you can do that. In that video, watch that video. If you have any doubt, you can drop me or ping us in the comment box. Let's discuss about video 6, last video. This is a most latest one. This video is the most latest one in which we have discussed about DHCP server, DHCP and DHCP server, DHCP client, how DHCP works, what are our DORA process, what DORA stands for. You can watch all the things what is a port number of DHCP. In Azure, we don't have the DHCP, right? In Azure, there is a inbuilt DHCP service in the virtual network. I already told you, right? When we make the virtual network, it also requires a range of IP addresses, right? Okay. Previously, when you created a VMs in the Hyper-V or a VMware workstation, you can make your DHCP server. But in Azure, the VM already have the IP address. Then how you will get another IP address with the DHCP server? Okay, so that is a thing. But there's a special concept. The lots of interviews ask what is a DHCP, how client get the DHCP. In that we discuss about how client receive the DHCP, client receive the IP address from DHCP. So you can watch that video also. Okay, key with the use of DORA process, with the use of which protocol in the video. Tell you one thing, DHCP is already a protocol. Okay, my question is that DHCP is a protocol. Then which protocol it is used during DORA process. My question is that. So answer is in the video. The protocol it is used is that is UDP protocol. UDP protocol is user datagram protocol. It use UDP ports. DHCP port use two ports. Both are UDP ports. The port is 67 and 68. Okay, 67 is server and 68 is for the clients. Both are UDP because UDP doesn't need to establish a connection to transport the data, to transfer the data. Okay, it is faster than TCP, transmission control protocol, and there is no three-way handshake. That's why it is faster. There is no three-way handshake and faster than TCP. And we doesn't use TCP because it is mandatory. TCP needs an IP address to communicate to establish the connection. That's why. And the whole DORA process with the diagrams and with the actual concept you get find in that video. With handwritten notes, I have explained how DHCP works and what is a DORA process and how you get the IP address, right? So that's all we discussed in that video. So that's all guys till the whole revision of the particular all the videos till now which we have discussed in the Azure series. So if you have any doubt, any confusion, or any specific topic on which I have you want me to create the video, you can drop me in the comment box. Thanks for watching, guys. And those are new. You can find my channel on at the rate DS classes 96, 98. There is no gap between them. Okay, it looks like this. There is no gap, no space in them. At the DS classes 96, 98. You get my channel. Okay, so keep learning, keep subscribing, keep sharing with your tech friends, your professors, your leads, and keep learning. Best of luck, everyone. We will find you in the next video. Thank you very much.